Yo, what's up guys, for you here, and welcome to my Shadow Priest guide. I'm going to talk about the talents and stuff. It's just a beginner guide to people who are looking to start playing Shadow Priest, or someone who doesn't really know much about Shadow Priests can check out and see if they want to play Shadow Priest. Anyway, so these are the main spells. You got Shadow Word Pain, Vampiric Touch, Dirty Dots, Mind Blast, and Mind Flay, Devouring Plague. That's also a dot, but we'll talk about this later. Shadow Word Death, they're the main spells. I'll talk about them in a while. Best get in shadow form just in case I need to do some DPSing. Anyway, we're going to talk about the talents. Now, tier 1 is a completely situational one, depending on what CC you need. Void Tendrils and Siphene, probably the better ones, because I think with Dominant Mind, you have to be, you have to control it, so you won't be able to act. So these ones you can, like the other two, you can select. Phantasm next tier is movement speed, Phantasm and PvP one, so they don't really matter too much. Angelic Feather and Body and Soul are the two main ones. Body and Soul gives you control. That's probably better for Shadow because you can just use it on yourself and on other people if you need to. Angelic Feather probably lowers DPS a little bit, but overall it could save people's lives, so it could be better anyway. But alright, but that's whatever. On the next tier, for Solace and Insanity is the best best talent in this tier. The other two are okay. From Darkness Comes Light is good in certain situations, but isn't better than Solace and Insanity. Mindbender is better on movement fights if there's a lot of movement, but this one is good on most fights as long as you don't have to move. Now for Shadow, what it does is casting Mindflay will target your affected. Casting Mindflay while your target is affected by Devouring Plague increases your Mindflay to deal 33% additional damage per orb consumed. Now you only want to use Devouring Plague while with 3 orbs up, so you'll always do 99% more damage, so it's basically 100% more damage. So that's why you use that one. That one's really good for a single target. Now for the next tier, Angelic Bulwark and Desperate Prayer are the main ones. Now I use Desperate Prayer because you can cast it whenever you feel like. It's not on the bar at the moment, but I'll put it there. Angelic Bulwark is okay, but that just means you can't control when it casts. On this next tier, Divine Insight is usually used for movement fights. Isn't that good compared to Twist of Fate? Twist of Fate is really good. Basically, it's just really nice for DPS, especially when targets get lower than 35% health, because then your Shadow Word Death is going to be hitting loads, because you can only use it when people are lower than 25%. So, or is it 20%? Yeah, it's 20%. So you're going to be once you get to 20%, you're going to be using that, and then they're going to be using you're going to be doing a lot of damage. Also healing yourself if you get low, and then you do more damage. That's always quite nice. Or just healing someone you see, then you can quickly heal them, get this damage buff, and then do more damage. For the next tier, it kind of depends on where people are stood. Halo is good for targets that are kind of stacked but far away from you. Divine Star people like if enemies are lined up, but that doesn't really happen often. And Cascade is good for when enemies are spread. I use Halo. It does nice damage even when you're right next to a target, as you can see. How much is that? That was only 13,000. There's no buffs or anything, so no, that was 163,000. Okay. So yeah, you see 163,000. That was a crit though. But imagine if I was 25 yards away, it would do a lot more damage. But yeah, it's still quite nice. So I use that. For the glyphs, I don't actually have my glyphs on. I think these are PvP ones, but I use like for PvP. Fade is good. I don't actually have Fade. This is an alt and this is an off spec as well. I don't really play Shadow, but you want to use Fade. Dispersion is nice. Where is Dispersion? I don't even have Dispersion. I don't even have any of these Shadow Priest ones that I want. And Mindflay is good as well. But whereas Mindflay no longer slows your victim's movement speed. Instead, each time Mindflay is cast, you get movement speed yourself. So when you got to move, you get moved faster. Dispersion lowers the cooldown of Dispersion by 15 seconds. And Fade now reduces all damage taken by 10%. That's also good. These ones I think were better than these ones were, I think I was just using them for utility reasons. This Master Spell got changed in the last patch. I've not played Shadow since then. But so you don't want to use Master Spell anymore. Prayer Mending Yeah, I was using these for PvP mainly because this was going to be my PvP spec, but then I didn't play Shadow mainly because I couldn't play Shadow in PvP because I suck at PvP. But that doesn't matter. But yeah, the glyphs you want are Mind Flay, Fade, and Dispersion basically. So for the stat priority, what you want is Intellect as your first stat, and then Spirit/Hit until you get 15% hit. I don't even know. I'm not even hit capped. Like I said, this is just an off spec that I don't play. And then you want Haste to the soft cap. I'll leave a link in the description to the soft caps. There's quite a few of them, so I won't go through them. And it depends on your gear, so I can't really say, oh, you go for this, because you might want to go for a bit like the one lower or the one higher, depending on your gear. And then it's crit, and then crit and mastery are quite equal, but then haste again after the soft caps. So you basically, mastery is really nice for because it just increases your dots. And but crit also also increases your damage by quite a bit. Now for your rotation, what you want to do, like priority, it's not really a rotation, it's put off a priority list. If you've got 3 orbs, you want to cast Devouring Plague. If you have any less than that, you want to cast Mind Blast. So for example, if I was starting, well, if you're starting a fight, what you want to do is you want to get up your dots, probably, right? And then you want to cast Mind Blast, and then Mind Flay as your filler spell, because you won't have any orbs to cast Thingy yet. Devouring Plague. So as you get more orbs as you go, so let me just get 3 orbs, and then let's see, 1 sec, I can almost get one, and then here's the 3rd orb, and then you use that. You also want to keep up dots. I wasn't keeping up dots because I was mainly just focused on getting the. But with this buff, you want to use like the buff you just saw then, which was the Devouring Plague one. You want to just spam, like, if you're doing it right, basically, you want to have your dots up. You want to use Mind Blast, then use Devouring Plague, then just spam Mind Flay until the buff runs out. Mind Flay is also your filler spell, so when you've got nothing else to do, just use Mind Flay. And when they're below 20% HP, you want to use Shadow of Death. Like if you've not got 3 orbs, if you've got 3 orbs, you always want to use Devouring Plague. And then you also probably would want to use Mind Flay since you've got the buff on them. It's only if you take that talent though. If you take Solace and Insanity. If you don't take that, then after using Devouring Plague, you probably want to use Mind Blast, even because they won't have the buff on them. Alright, so let me get 3 orbs and I'll do it properly. So just bear with me. Alright, so I'll get my dots. So there's my dots. And then you want to use that, and then you want to use that, which was Mind Blast to get the 3rd orb, and then it was Devouring Plague. You don't want to. Also, I pressed Mind Flay twice, so it cast it twice, which is also a waste of a tick there, which you don't normally do. And then you want to use a Halo on, probably on cooldown or on AoE. I'm not sure if you use it on cooldown. Yeah, you can use it. Yeah, just use it on cooldown. Especially when Mind Blast is on cooldown, because it hits a lot of damage. And then it will, like, you obviously won't have enough orbs for Devouring Plague. So that's also that's a single target rotation. Multi-target, 2 to 4 targets. You want to do the single target rotation, but then just keep Vampiric Touch and Shadow Word Pain on them. So like I'm doing that, and then I'll do the single target rotation, and then I will make sure to keep the buffs on people like that, and then you just keep doing the. So I'm about to get a 3rd orb right now. And then use that, and there you go. So yeah, that's what you want to do. And if there's more than 5 targets or 5+, you want to just keep dots on people if you can, and then just Mind Seer as a filler spell. Like you don't want to put Vampiric Touch on him. You just want to put Shadow Word Pain. So like if there's 5, so you only need 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like the 5th one over there. If they were stacked, then you would just Mind Flay one of them. I mean, not Mind Flay, Mind Seer, as you can see. So that's the multi-target rotation. Now I'm going to go talk about CDs. You want to keep up Inner Fire, which is kind of obvious, but you keep that up. And then the cooldowns are right here. You got Vampiric Embrace, which increases healing done. Well, no, it causes healing to your allies for 50% of any single target shadow damage you do. So basically, where is it? It's on my bottom. There it is. And then I use that. I'm pretty sure it'll heal me. There, 59k. That's like, it's really nice for when there's a lot of damage coming in, like incoming, especially if you pop cooldowns or something. like if you pop a pot and then you use that, you can do more damage and then more healing essentially. Void Shift just switches health with like the target, so if they're low you can save somebody. Dispersion gets your mana back. I get 6% mana every second for 6 seconds. Also lowers damage done by 9%, so basically you can use it to soak something, and then to get your mana back as well. Shadow Fiend also just does damage. You want to be using it on cooldown. Is a damage cooldown, but it also gives you mana back, so you basically want to use it on cooldown all the time. Hymn of Hope, which is here, and these are the utility spells. Hymn of Hope gives mana back, so it's also good. Like that's good for the raid for the healers. But you've got Leap of Faith, which you can use to save somebody, I suppose. Fear Ward, which I don't think there's any fears in the new raid, Siege Warcraft, but you know, put Fear Ward on someone, stop them getting feared, basically. Fade, which is get rid of Threat, also reduces damage by 10% if you get the Glyph, which I recommend. Master Spell gets rid of, you know, Master Spell. I don't think it's as good for Shadow, or is it? This is spell, but yeah, it is. It's just as good for Shadow. Okay. I remember they did change something, but it was just the Glyph, wasn't it? They changed. Psychic Horror is basically disarm. Silences. Shackle Undead is for CC Undead. Dispel Magic is basically like Purge, and then you got Fear. Shadow Priests have really nice utility, but so yeah, if you just using it, they're all situational moves there. I'm gonna talk about gems and stuff and enchants. For gems, you want a legendary gem or a burning meta gem. I don't have the legendary gem on my priest, but if you've got legendary gem, you want to be using that. In yellow, you want to be using Quicksun's Radiance, which is just haste. Do I have any of those yellow ones? I don't think. Yeah, there we go. Haste. In red, you want to use Reckless, which is instant haste, and in blue, you want to be using Energized or Lightning. Energized Wild or Lightning Wild gems if there's an int bonus, but if there's no int bonus, then you want to use Quicksun's. So basically, let's find one. If I have one somewhere, there might be. I have full spirit in this. Well, that's because they're healing. I have some healing gear on, so I can't really show you. But basically, if you have like here, for example, that's got an int bonus, so you want to use. Well, that's for a red socket. You'd probably want to use Purified in the. Oh no, Reckless. I would be changing that one, but no, I don't. It's an old one. I don't really care. But professions, you want ones that increase your intellect mainly. Like, so you don't want alchemy. Tailoring is good because it gives you the back enchant, but you basically want something that increases your intellect or something that gives you a special enchant for your spec, which like engineering is quite nice. Enchanting plus tailoring. Let's think of one. Blacksmithing would be good because you get extra gems and you get ring enchants basically stuff like that. So not gathering. You don't want gathering ones basically. Alchemy is actually pretty good because you do get. I did actually say I only got alchemy for the transmutes, but alchemy does give you the flask. So basically, whenever you take a flask, you get an extra 320 intellect. So that's quite nice. Now enchants. I don't know. I can't really say which ones to get. I'll leave a description in the. I'll leave a link in the description to the enchant page because I have like some holy gear on, so I can't really say you get this one because it's holy gear and it's holy enchants basically. But now for macros, you want it depends really. You don't really have to get them, but there's two macros that you could possibly get. There's a cancel dispersion macro and a mouse over leap faith macro. That just makes it quicker to cast. Leap of faith and dispersion. You can cancel dispersion if you're gonna let's say you don't really want to stay in it. Like if you want to soak something for 2 seconds and you want to get out of it for the next 4, you just cancel it. Basically, it's all situational really. But and I'll write those in the description as well, as I don't have the macros as I don't play Shadow. But I'll do another video where it'll be a raid boss / dungeon where I'm playing Shadow, and I'll go through the rotation and stuff. So yeah, if this helped, leave a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 2 of the Shadow Priest guide.